Feel that shiver down your spine? That's not just the raw cold of speed, it's the adrenaline whispering, "Welcome to the edge." Two legends await, MotoGP and the Isle of Man TT. But if you think fast bikes and brave riders are all that's at stake, buckle up. Today we're tearing straight into the question that electrifies the entire motorcycle world. Which race is the ultimate test? Hold tight, because by the end you'll never see these warriors or their danger quite the same again. Whenever anyone talks about speed, skill, and threat in motorcycle racing, they bring up MotoGP and the TT. They're not just races, they're moving metaphors for human and mechanical limits. Each one answers the question, how much is a person willing to risk for the thrill and the glory? Picture this, the world's best pilots, laser-focused, stretched out behind the fairing of a two-wheeled missile, dancing at midnight speeds, knee barely kissing the ground, elbow brushing past rivals at 340 kilometers per hour. This is MotoGP, a circus of elite athletes, engineers, and millisecond decisions. There's no room for error, only for superheroes trained in precision. But then, imagine a different beast. A road flanked by stone walls, lampposts, and fresh-cut hedges. Wind buffeting the rider's helmet as familiar villages flash past in a blur. One false move, and it's not a runoff, it's brick and bone. This is the Isle of Man TT. Forget the stadium grandeur. This is wild country, a living dare. Every lap, every breath is a duel with death. So which is the real ultimate test? It's a debate so fierce it divides fans, families, and entire nations. The truth? Both races push human possibility. But the how and why of that push, man, that's where the story truly gets insane. What's MGTO truly? The product of evolution, science, and relentless drive. Born on the world's smoothest, tech-laden circuits, MotoGP isn't just about who's fastest, it's about who's perfect. Every second, every corner. Here, the best riders on Earth are refined and forged by teams of hundreds, every part of their machine molded to perfection. It's preparation, anticipation, and strategy. Riders spend years, not months, training their bodies to mimic the cyclist's endurance and the gymnast's dexterity. Their minds become tactical computers, processing threat, weather, tire wear, competitors, and constantly running the dance of fractions. Those who survive aren't just fast, they are nearly superhuman. Then there's the machine, the star in its own right. These bikes are apex creations, over 300 horsepower tuned to a fraction of a second, with electronics so advanced they can detect wheel lift or traction loss before the rider even feels it. Engineers sweat details from air resistance down to the millimeter. Every gram, every decibel, every drop of fuel. Here's where the twist hits, the competitor. It's not just the clock, it's a pack of gladiators, each one capable of stealing your position and your career with a lunge in the dying seconds of a lap. Each race lasts about 45 minutes, with every second a gamble for fame and fortune. The tactics come thick and fast. Late braking, high corner speeds, tire conservation, fuel strategy, overtakes inside and outside. Ever seen two riders touch at 340 kilometers per hour? It's a heart-stopping ballet where even world champions like Valentino Rossi, Marc Marquez, and Casey Stoner admit every lap is a dance with fate. But there's another side. In MotoGP, danger is mitigated by extraordinary safety. Medical teams stand by, crash structures line the track. If you go down, help can be there within seconds. It is in many ways a controlled environment, a calculated risk where skill and technology maximize survival. So why do some say MotoGP isn't the ultimate test? Enter the Isle of Man TT, where every atom of racing is pure chaos. Not a circuit, but a 37-mile loop of public roads, twisted through the towns and wild open hillsides of the Isle of Man. The TT stares you down with a simple dare: survive. Forget runoffs and air fences. Here, riders blast by stone walls with a margin of error thinner than a postage stamp. They race alone against the clock, ripping down familiar streets at speeds over 210 kilometers per hour for up to 90 minutes straight. But it's alone in a way MotoGP never can be. The TT is a time trial. Each rider starts individually, spaced out by a few seconds. What that means is you can't pace yourself by glancing at a rival's helmet. You have to feel the race. Every bump, every corner burned into your muscle memory. Riders memorize thousands of turns. The only way to learn is to ride it over and over, feeling out the lines, marking out every lamppost, gate, and tree. The consequences? Unforgiving. The Isle of Man is legendary for its danger. In more than a century, over 260 lives have been lost, each a story, a ghost in the hedges and ditches of the island. Yet the bravest and most reckless riders in the world return every year, chasing immortality in the swirling mist and sunlight of man. Standing in the pit lane, listening to the revs climb, you aren't just racing. You're gambling with everything for the chance to go faster than any sane person dares. But is it just about danger? Not quite. The TT has its own league of skill. One few outsiders understand. The physical challenge is punishing, demanding not only speed, but the ability to ride on the limit for well over an hour while enduring the wild changes in surface, temperature, and grip. Every muscle aches, hands numb, mind blurs, yet focus must remain absolute, lap after agonizing lap. So let's grab the numbers to see which is truly tougher. MotoGP bikes can top 363 kilometers per hour on tracks like Mugello. Their average speeds range between 160 and 185 kilometers per hour. Races demand sprint control, every lap, every corner, an invitation to force the envelope. The TT, meanwhile, pushes bikes close to 332 kilometers per hour at top speed. Yes, a touch slower on the straights, but look at this. The average speed for the fastest man at the TT exceeds 219 kilometers per hour, maintained over an hour and a half, on a circuit riddled with blind corners, jumps, dips, and unpredictable surfaces. Can you imagine holding 200 plus kilometers per hour for over an hour with stone walls 1 meter from your head? No wonder some racers claim the TT is a test not of skill alone, but guts and madness. Now take a breath, because here's the real question fans ask. Which race would you rather win, and which race would you rather survive? That world of MotoGP is fueled by dizzying contracts, extravagant sponsorship deals, and bonus structures that turn champions into millionaires. For stars like Fabio Quartararo, Marc Marquez, and Francesco Bagnaia, annual salaries can hit 10 to 13 million euros, not counting hefty race win bonuses and lucrative helmet and leathers endorsements. With every victory and championship lap, the legends carve their names deeper into motorsport history and unlock prime seats, global recognition, and lifelong fan followings. Brands fight for just a tiny patch on their leathers, and the roar from grandstands stretches across continents, reminding every newcomer that here you're not only racing for glory, but for a future shaped by unimaginable rewards and celebrity. The TT, by contrast, is a cult, almost mythic in status. To win here is to be immortalized. To finish is to be respected by all. You don't become a global celebrity, but you become a legend among the toughest tribe in sport. Ask any TT winner and they'll tell you there's something about this place. If you get it right, you know you've conquered fear itself. Let's dive deeper. Consider the mental battles. In MotoGP, riders live and breathe their craft. Days are shaped by fitness, simulator sessions, strategy meetings, practice, qualifying, racing, media, and endless, meticulous preparation. The psychological load is immense. Pressure piles up as rival riders close gaps, team managers demand more, and fans scrutinize every move. The TT is more solitary. Here, the mental duel is against self, not rivals. Before each lap, a rider's heart pounds as they stare at the mountain course, knowing the next hour could be their finest or their last. Some say the tension before a TT lap is like jumping off a cliff, knowing you must land smoothly. Pep talks, rituals, quiet moments, all blend together as you prepare for utter chaos. Stories abound of those who faced down this chaos. Take John McGuinness, a giant of the TT whose smooth lines and relentless pace made him a multi-year champion. Every time he sets off, standing in the wind and waiting for the signal, he knows that each second could bring disaster. Yet he comes back again and again for the rush, the honor, for something impossible to name. Remember Guy Martin, who crashed and broke multiple bones, then returned, rebuilt, his spirit undimmed? He wasn't chasing money or fame, he was chasing the feeling that only the TT delivers. Or the tragedy, riders lost, remembered only in memorial laps and faded photographs. For each one taken by the course, hundreds live with its shadow, knowing their luck held. And luck is all that truly separates survivors from legends. Here's another layer, the technology. MotoGP pushes boundaries every year. Seamless gearboxes, ride height devices, electronic aids, compound tires, each a marvel. Teams analyze terabytes of data after every lap, searching for a tenth of a second improvement. Pit stops, brake changes, tire swaps, all happen with precision. The TT is raw. Bikes use modified road machines, stripped, beefed up, yet never as refined as MotoGP prototypes. The path to speed here is different. Homebrew tuning, local mechanics, borrowed parts. Errors aren't caught by a sensor and fixed by a squadron of engineers. They're masked by rider instinct and hardiest courage. And while MotoGP pit stops involve entire squads armed with technology, TT riders face the elements. Changing the tire or refueling can mean wind, rain, mud, even sheep wandering across the circuit. It's old school gladiator style where sweat mixes with petrol and courage beats engineering. But compare the drama at the finish line. Watch a MotoGP victory, crowds erupt, confetti flies, and the roar of thousands envelopes the winner. Interviews, champagne, medals. Media follows every move, the best get statues, books, headlines, and a life of fame. Now witness the T-finish. The rider rolls in, exhausted, sometimes crying, sometimes silent. There's applause, yes, and respect, but more often there's a hush, a tribute to survival as much as speed. When a T-champion removes his helmet, you see not just victory, but release. One more lap survived, one more legend written among the shadows. What's the ultimate test then? Perhaps the question isn't which is harder, but which pushes more boundaries? MotoGP demands peak perfection, a blend of tactics, athleticism, and technical mastery. The TT requires everything GPD does, plus a willingness to face danger few will ever truly comprehend. Both draw a certain kind of hero. MotoGP's gladiators are masters of skill, molded by experience into strategic warriors. TT's riders are part poet, part daredevil, addicted to risk, comfortable only in the electricity of uncertainty. This debate rolls on in forums, pubs, paddocks, and garages. Fans of MotoGP argue that only their race requires absolute perfection, every split second laced with tactical genius. TT devotees know theirs is the last pure challenge. One rider, one machine, one road, fate on the line. You can measure the numbers, compare the speeds, dissect the risks, and weigh the rewards, but you'll never truly resolve the feud. Each race stands for something different, not just in biking, but in life. MotoGP is the ultimate sporting test, refined, perfected, endlessly modern, where talent is only the start of greatness. The Isle of Man. TT is the ultimate existential test, raw, untamed, seductive, and terrifying, where the line between life and legend runs razor thin. Here's the punch. No matter which side you choose, you're picking gladiators, poets, lunatics, and geniuses, men and women riding beyond possibility, stretching the meaning of courage. The debate is the ultimate battleground, never to be settled, always to be raced again. So next time you hear a motorcycle scream past, whether on polished tarmac or hallowed hedge-lined roads, remember you're hearing the echo of every challenge, every moment where man and machine defy gravity, death, and doubt itself. If these legendary races have fired up your imagination or challenged your sense of adventure, don't let the thrill end here. Hit like if you felt the rush, subscribe to dive deeper into the world of speed, and drop a comment. Do you side with the polished precision of MotoGP or the raw danger of the Isle of Man TT? Share your thoughts, your dreams, or your own riding stories below. Now spread the word to a fellow motorsports fan, because the debate doesn't stop at the finish line. The real race is just getting started.